Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I'm Monica, and today we are going to dive into the new moon in Scorpio energy. The new moon is on November 1st, 2024, and I do have the chart pulled up here. I have it set for my local time because it actually worked out perfectly to put the ascendant directly at 0 degrees. It's 0 degrees and 19 minutes of Scorpio, but I wanted to focus on the scorpionic energy primarily. So putting it in the first house is exactly right. This reading, we are going to go over the moon energies, the channeled messages, the understanding that Spirit brought to me. I do have some channeled collective messages. All of that is to help you guys tap deeper into this energy, especially with me filming on Samhain when the veil is said to be the thinnest, and tomorrow being the Day of the Dead, the honoring of our ancestors. This new moon energy is very profound, and especially with it being in Scorpio, this is a deeply occulted ancestral energy. This is a new beginning. This is a new start. Some of you may resonate with the Morrigan, with Persephone, with Hecate, Black Moon Lilith, and Lilith as an archetypal energy is also very strong here. The underworld is very prevalent here. And none of these are intended to be energies that are to be feared. They're not evil. They're not bad. They're a dualistic aspect of the energetics that we think of as light. These are the parts of ourselves that oftentimes we have been taught to fear the most, to run away from, to reject, to deny. And it is these parts, when we do that, that we see as rising up against us and as taking over us and taking control or taking possession of us. And in reality, what they are, they're these parts of us, like a petulant child or a toddler that doesn't get their way, or just some small child that is seeking confirmation of worth in their existence, of being loved, of being seen, of mattering, and they don't have the emotional awareness to express themselves as we do when we grow. And so they stamp their feet and throw tantrums in order to get attention, because sometimes bad attention is still attention, and it still can make one feel validated in just simply being alive. And that way of being, that nature, we can apply that to our shadows. So our shadows will come out, and it will seem as though our shadows are wreaking havoc in our lives. And we're acting out of character, and we're acting out of alignment and out of integrity. And we can vilify ourselves for that, or we can say, you know what, this part of me exists because this person did this to me at this point. And then we can victimize ourselves after we may or may not have been victimized, but we are all human and going through it. And so with scorpionic energy, with this shadow energy, this, dark divine feminine and darker aspects of the divine masculine being so prevalent, especially now during Samhain, when, we are at that pinnacle point of that transition between the balance of light in the day and light at night. And we're shifting more and more into the night, taking the lead in the collective, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. This is different if you live in the Southern Hemisphere, of course, and I do want to give that respect. But as we move into this phase, the midway point, so to speak, before Yule, between Mabon and Yule, this is that time to really surrender to that flow of wisdom and mystery and magic that exists in the darkness, that exists within our shadows, those parts that we put away because we think that they're unlovable. The only reason why those parts come up and have that give me negative attention is because we believe them to be unwelcome and unlovable. and we punish ourselves or we punish others, and we find ourselves in this state of pain because, and I spoke about this in a couple of videos, a couple of my collective messages and channelings that Spirit called me to. The pain always demands to be felt. And sometimes when we don't know how to feel our own pain, we have to see how it feels in another person because we are just simply too scared to allow ourselves to go into it. And here on this channel, you'll find no judgments and no condemnation. You'll find no excessive positivity or definitive ways of doing things. What you'll find is understanding and awareness. You'll find compassion and grace, and you'll find empathy. You'll find a community that has accountability written within their souls and integrity, because that's what we do here. So if you have found yourself on the cusp of this new moon, feeling that petulant child energy, that rising up of darker forces, of darker ways of perceiving things and believing things about yourself or about others, and you aren't really sure how to handle it or how to navigate it, or even how to stop yourself from becoming reactive to it, and doing that shadow dance of stamping your feet and saying, validate my existence because I do exist. Please don't shame yourself. The energies in the cosmos and in this world are very heavy right now. They are heavy, they are burdensome, they are weighted down. Ancestral traumas and wounds and patterns are becoming ever more clear in profound but painful ways. You're not alone in it. And we are all human doing the best that we can. And so I wanted to open this reading. I actually wanted to open it a completely different way, but this is how Spirit led me to open it. And I honor that. And I honor each one of you as well here today. So my loves, I want to say thank you first for being here. We're going to dive into the energy of the moon. I hope that in these channeled messages, and when I work with astrology, I work with the planets. I work with a lot of the more subtle understandings of astrology, critical degrees, out of bounds placements, the declinations, the things that often get overlooked. I look at the things that get overlooked as energies, and those are what I'm drawn to. I look at the interplay of the planets. I look at how the houses flow and go based off of my intuition. So you won't find traditional astrology here. You'll find a mix of traditional and modern and very, very intuitive astrology. This has been, a very intensive, at least 4 years of my life with the stars, with the planets, with the asteroids, with the cosmos, with Spirit, developing a personal relationship with the planets and the astrological energies, and blending it and integrating it with my understanding of the human experience and psychology and the nature of this life that we live, on a just spiritual, energetic, humanistic, personal level, just kind of all encompassing. I don't have a name for it. It's just what I do. And I come here always with the intention to help, to be of service, to make a difference, to make an impact, to help you understand who you are, or just simply to help you understand that you are seen in a more profound way than you may think. And I hope today that reaches you. After we get into the astrological energies, I do have 4 piles. I did pre-shuffle all the cards for the piles, and I have like these top cards are the Talisman Oracle, And I've seen them all. I'm not going to lie. I had them flipped over. And this morning when I sat down to get prepared and to do the cleansing in here, I needed to do like a double, triple cleanse of the energies and then open it up in a way that I genuinely started doing 4 years ago on Samhain. And it is my go-to when the energy is like this. And that is dragon's blood incense, Palo Santo, and then a bay leaf. And later on today, I'm going to do another reading with mugwort for us all. But these 4 piles are not astrologically aligned. They're just additional support messages, guidance for you moving forward. But when I sat down and right before I cleansed, I heard blind choosing or blind picking. And so I was like, okay, so you want me to flip them over? I got a huge yes. So I flipped them all over and I was like, okay. And then I started cleansing. And as I was cleansing, I was trying to get my sound bowl activated, but it had some ashes and dust in it. I've been slower than normal in my cleaning with my heart and my health conditions going on. And so dusting kind of falls to the wayside and vacuuming and things like that are very difficult on my joints or will elevate my heart rate too much. So I was cleaning it out. And as I'm cleaning it out, I tapped it once and all of a sudden outside my window, you could hear the shriek of a hawk. I've heard that once in my neighborhood, and I've been living in this neighborhood for over 5 years. It was so loud and right outside my door. I didn't look. I was just like, okay, well, that's a message. I'm just going to deliver it. And then after that, I did it again. And all of a sudden there were all these cars honking and everything. And it was like every time I go to cleanse and clear the energy in here, there is something from the outside world that wants to make its presence known. And it's like, okay, now I got to get that out. Now I got to get this out. Now I got to get that out. And that is an energy right now. That is a very strong energy. That is something that I have felt on and off a lot over the past 6 or 7 months, especially since eclipse season opened this spring, is there are times where it is literally like I clean and I cleanse and everything feels settled for a day. And then I have to move furniture. I have to shift energy because we're rapidly changing. Everything is in flux and in flow on such a perpetual basis right now in the collective that we have to keep resetting and keep resetting and keep resetting. And that gets very tiring. It gets very exhausting. And so learning how to flow with certain things occurring and just taking note of it is very important. Very important. So when I break down the astrological energies, I have this tendency to, kind of write down the things that I'm drawn to first. And in this case, I actually wrote down like all the rulership. And I don't normally include traditional rulership, but for some reason with this new moon, the traditional rulership is actually really important. And with there being 3 planets sitting at the 29th degree, this anaretic 29th degree, that final phase energy is incredibly strong too. So we have these energies that are literally intensifying and intensifying and intensifying. And Earth on this chart is sitting right in the middle. It's sitting in the middle of all this red and surrounded by the blue. And as it sits here and does what it does, we've got this grand water trine in fire houses. And so we've got the blending of fire and water. And this is the literal alchemical process. We've got a mystic rectangle going on. There's just this multitude of different pieces and forms that are yanking at us, pulling at us, that are putting pressure on us. The way I described it last night as I was journaling is it feels like gravity has suddenly increased and intensified, but it's not gravity outside of ourselves. There's some sort of gravitational pull, gravitational energy within ourselves that is sucking us and pressurizing us. And a new moon is a time of release. I know a lot of people talk about the full moon as a time of release, but for me, the full moon is the time to receive the clarity and the wisdom that the night is able to give us, because the light is the brightest. That light shines on those dark parts that we oftentimes can't see because we're in the darkness ourselves. This is a time to allow ourselves to release that fear of looking into the darkness, that fear of walking into it, that fear that we are always going to be X, Y, and Z. And then you apply some negative connotation or intonation or identification to whatever comes with I'm always going to be. Something I used to say is I'm always going to be limited, and I'm always going to be sick, and I'm always going to be invisible, and I'm always going to be unheard, and I'm never going to matter. I used to say these things so consistently, so perpetually, and they became self-fulfilling prophecies because I said them so much. And the reason I said them was I was afraid to go into my shadow. I was afraid to sit down with myself and look and say, why do I feel this way? Where did it come from? What is its origin point? And is it true, or is this from someone else? Those are key, important questions. The sun and the moon in Scorpio at the 9th degree is sitting at a critical degree. It is a critical fixed degree. 8 and 9, 21, or 20 and 21, I believe, or 21 and 22 in fixed signs are critical degrees. This energy means that the sun and the moon together in Scorpio is asking us to really look at the nature and the body of Scorpionic energy. Look at where your stinger goes. Do you sting outwardly? Do you sting yourself? Do you hide away from the light because it's too hot and it's too much? Do you understand the nature of your progression? Scorpio energy is all about allowing yourself to change. The Scorpion, going back to like Mithraism, the Scorpion was seen as the purveyor of darkness, the bringer of darkness, where its sister sign Taurus was seen as the bringer of life, of grapes and vines and wheat and water and the cosmic skies. And so we have this great creator, but then we have its opposite. And when you are in that energy of the opposite, so many people so often focus on the creativity. They focus on the new, on the birthing, on the life, on the planting and the reaping and all of these things, because we glorify these things because these are the things that our ancestors discovered and were led to that gave them greater life. It gave them longer life. It gave them more connection. It gave them stability. And those things are valued even today. So we glorify it and look at it. And over time, humanity has walked away from the darkness. This new moon says, you know what? Your ancestors are coming here and saying we carried such darkness within us and we took out all these dark deeds and we did not know what we were doing. And now you must carry our burdens. You must carry these things forward because we did not know how to carry them properly. But we chose you and you chose us. And we have that symbiotic relationship and we have that on a soul level and an energetic level. And so we walk beside you and we do that because you are the one that knows how to navigate that darkness without the darkness navigating you, without the darkness taking hold. You know how to love in the darkness. And that is why you are here. So we look at everything that came before because in order to make progress, we have to understand where we came from. If we don't ever look at the lessons of the past, we do repeat them, or our children repeat them, and we go through the anguish of watching the fact that we didn't choose to take that accountability and move with integrity, because our children now have to go through what we went through. And I've been through that. This year has been very hard for me going through that. And it has led me deeper and deeper and deeper into myself and into my past and into my ancestry and into all of this. That way I can be of better service for each one of you. So with this grand water trine in the fire houses, the predominant focus is upon divine masculine or divine feminine energy and making changes that are very long overdue to illusions of the nature of the divine masculine energy, through where we find weakness in divine energy and build illusions in our human actions and perspectives. Now, this comes back to like the reaping and the planting and all of these things. We have this skewed perception that divine masculine energy, because it is seen as an active energy, as something that has to be hard and fast and the go-getter and the doer. But these two energies are not, they're not separate. They're not separate. They are opposite, but the same. This is why there is the saying, the same side, or two different sides of the same coin. You have this, go here, you have this coin and it has two different sides. I mean, it's even made up of two different symbols. You've got the 4-leaf clover and the moon. So you have this, and it has these two different things, but these two things are two sides of the same thing. Your shadow and your light are two sides of you, and you are the bridge between them. You can either maintain the bridge or it falls into dilapidation, and then you have shit like Beetlejuice where they crash and they die. I'm just kidding. You're not going to die. It just was an image that came up. But my point here is divine masculine and divine feminine energy have become skewed because we fear the combination of the two, because the combination of the two makes us whole. And if we're whole, then what use do we have in connection and in relationship? If we're already whole or someone else is already whole, where do we come in? Where do we belong? But when we're in connection, we don't belong to the other person. We belong beside them. In whatever way connection is, relationship is, we belong beside them. That's integrity. That's accountability and equality and synergy, and a symbiotic relationship is walking hand in hand beside each other, recognizing that you both are unique, but you're connected. And so the totality of your connection is greater than each of your wholeness, but your wholeness is not negated by the connection. And we've got Venus over here in Sagittarius also at a critical degree, the second critical degree of Sagittarian energy, or the 17th degree. And in the second house where Venus naturally rules, the divine feminine is right at home where she belongs. And what she's doing is she is saying, okay, I'm in this fire energy, but this is my home. This is my domain. So I'm going to show you how we are one. I'm going to highlight, amplify, and really bring that out, because I know that directly across from me, the ruler is withdrawn into himself. So we've got Jupiter in retrograde, withdrawn into himself, does not have that same energetic numerical power because he's at the 20th and I'm at the 17th. He's already passed his power point. I'm in mine. And he is in what you would call, I think, fall or debilitated, but I'm pretty sure Jupiter is in fall. I don't follow that a lot. Sometimes I do, but I believe that it operates differently. Essentially, Jupiter sits in Gemini, and because Jupiter rules Gemini's opposite sign, Jupiter has to learn that there is a different way of being, there's a different way of doing things. The reason why Venus here is so important at this critical degree is because Venus is the planet that has multiple sunrises in a day, does multiple resets, just like the singing bowl, just like the cleansing. It's a multiple time in order to really get it there. She goes in her own unique patterns, in her own unique way. She does not follow the flow of everything else. And that is one of those energetic symbols of why we are afraid of the divine feminine, because she just doesn't operate under objection or objective, scientific, accepted, or religious tones and natures and beliefs. I mean, she operates in the realm of the unknown, in the realm of the void, in the realm of creation. And all she is here to do is share the beauty and the art and the value and the worth of what that is. In the second house, for me, the second house is about that thing or those things that we have inherited from our ancestors and how those things impact our physical world, because this is where we start interacting with the physical world. And we interact with the physical world first and foremost through our family when we are born. Whether that is an adopted family, whether that is a foster family, whether that is our biological family, it doesn't matter. That is the nature of how we work with humanity. And in some places, our family is the entire community. And so this is where we have inherited so much. We inherit from our blood. We inherit from our soul. We inherit from the people and the places that we grow up in. This inheritance becomes deeply rooted within us. And when we overlook the second house as being just materialistic, we lose sight of the fact that Taurus is known to be the one that brings life, the one that saved our ancestors from having to constantly hunt and run and hide and fight and battle and be nomads, but gave them home and stability. This is the roots of where we find our home and stability before we get down into that fourth house with our home and stability. She wants to help us change how we view our ability to expand our lives through our values, through our own worth that exists within ourselves, so we can share more expansively, so we can heal the nature of our ancestral inheritances through embracing internal divine inheritances, and then expand into all aspects of ourselves. It's the spreading of the roots of the tree down and out without impeding the growth of other trees, without limitation of your own growth, but also in honoring how these growth patterns work and honoring the fact that we can actually make that conscious choice to change a perspective. Our perspectives are all based off of our perception. Our perception is where we find our reasoning because of our senses, what we interact with on a sense basis. Venus here is highlighting the fact that we all have more senses than just the physical and the tangible. And it is through those senses that these inheritances come alive, that we can understand better our own wholeness. So as this pressurization comes in and really pushes on us and really, really makes us feel like we are being compacted into this tiny little box, this internal claustrophobia can happen. But Venus is here to say, I know the way out, and the way out is through that tiny little pinprick of darkness. That one pathway that you can take. But that journey through the forest, it can be daunting. It can be daunting, but you have everything set up energetically that's going to pull and pull and pull and pull, and it's going to pull all the things that have been occluding you from seeing the reality of that shadow, from the light being able to get in. It's going to pull it all apart, and it's going to fix it in the middle of this energy that is flowing with change, flowing with closure, flowing with magic, flowing with the occult. It's flowing with the me and my voice and my beliefs and my ability to love myself and my ability to love my spiritual nature and my ability to nurture and give to myself, to transform myself, to change myself, and then to come out and to meet the world and to understand more about who everybody else is, because I understand myself, genuinely understand myself. This moon phase, this energy right here, it is profound and powerful, and it comes at a time when the spiritual energies are amplified and thinned, and we're asked to honor them. It's also coming when we are going through the peak of the change in the sun's polar shift that we have been going through. We still have about another year of this chaos. But I mean, the geomagnetic storms and the solar flares and, you know, the X classes have been insanely strong and impactful. And so we have all of these things, and we can get overwhelmed, but they're all divinely led. They are all divinely timed, and we all chose to be here because this is the time that so many ancestral wounds and traumas can be understood on so many levels and healed. These patterns can be stopped. This world can heal. And it takes only one person choosing themselves and choosing that pattern of healing. It only takes you to heal you to make a difference in the world. That's it. That's all. That's all you're meant to carry. That's all you're meant to do. Just you. Even when you want to take on the burdens of others. So I'm going to just go through the page of channeled messages. It says the past and the future come into balance as we learn that the weaknesses are where we can nurture love and become determined to embrace the magic of the divine feminine shadow. The lessons of the underworld and being true to our faith, grown from within, and recognizing the peace is the greatest motivation for our inner warrior to learn through battling our false perceptions of darkness to see the way it is challenge. It is the challenge blessing of freedom. My God, you guys. Oh man. I can't even begin to tell you, like, when I channel these messages, I forget. I did this like 2 weeks ago. Totally forgot. I've been primarily going based off of what I see and feel here. And it still astounds me that what I'm saying here is what I wrote 2 weeks ago. And for a little insight, my brain is mush a lot of the time. I'm in a lot of pain. I am dealing with extremely serious and scary health issues. But I'm also under more stress, more strain than, first of all, I've ever been in my life, but also than I ever thought I would be able to survive. And I've been doing it for 10 months. And sometimes the divine just comes in and is like, this is part of the why. This is part of the why, because I can sit down and channel messages for you guys, and I can tap right back into that energy and make sure that I walk with integrity and I deliver the messages my soul is here to do for you guys. And I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful for this, for what it's brought into my life, for what all of you have brought into my life. Thank you. Let's move on before I start getting too emotional. All right, harmony and dissonance. Harmony and dissonance here is what's important. That push and pull and tug of war energy. Harmony and dissonance are absolutely crucial for the song of the soul to come to be heard. Melody is sung through the coming together of the sun and the moon into oneness. Harmony and dissonance bring melody because you're the melody. That is the wholeness. It's two sides. They're two different things in one. But as I was reading that, the reason why I got a little more reserved is because when I heard Song of the Soul, I heard the shrieking of the hawk again, but not outside this time. It was like it was reverberating inside of my head, like it's the song of the soul. We think of the shrieking of the hawk as it's diving for its prey or, what have you, as being a warning. But a hawk is a bird of prey, and it's in its nature to do what it does and to let people know this is what I'm doing. This is me living my authentic truth. And so it shrieks out and it says, here I go. And it does its dive and what have you. And I'm not going scientifically. I'm just going based off of what I'm seeing right now. And as it makes its dive, it's showing the world by walking its path or flying its path exactly what integrity and authenticity look like. It is shrieking, but to the hawk, it's music. To the hawk, it's melody. To the hawk, it's wholeness. It knows it is a bird that lives in the air and on land. So it exists in two places all the time. It knows that it has to hunt and use skills and its gifts in order to survive. But it also knows it's beautiful in its path. That's amazing, guys. Okay, the numerology of this new moon is 56. Which reduces to 11. And normally you don't reduce 11, but I go based off of tarot card energy, major arcana energy, so that we're looking at the spiritual lessons energetically and numerologically. So I will always break them down, but I take both into consideration. So when we have the 11, now we're breaking it down to 2. So we have Justice and the High Priestess. We have Libran energy, which is sitting in the 12th house here with the South Node and Black Moon Lilith. Libran energy and Black Moon Lilith is sitting at the Ides. So you guys, I don't know if you guys know what the Ides of March is, but it's like the middle of March, and they used to celebrate Jupiter, but they used to do it in order to protect themselves because it was seen as, a time of, potential negativity. So when Julius Caesar was killed, they said, beware the Ides of March, the 15th of March. The Ides of any astrological sign, any house, is the 15th degree. So we look at that because it's the challenge degree. It's the midpoint. It's the one that exists not in the before, not in the after, but in the exact liminal interim. So Black Moon Lilith sitting there is saying, where is subjugation? Where is ostracization? Where is this fear of darkness being shrouded and pushed back? Where is it causing problems inside of our own internal balance? Where do we see justice in all of this? Do we see justice in all of this? Do we understand that we're not the ones that carry the sword of justice, even when we want to? Even when we want to, it's not our job. Our job is to understand that sword will swing, to understand that those scales are going to be held by Anubis, and Anubis is going to take our heart and place it up against Ma'at's feather of truth. And it depends on our choices and our actions and our healing and our journey for whether that heart gets fed to Amut or gets allowed to be taken with us and passed into the next life. And this is a metaphorical based off of, Commission spirituality and my work with Anubis. But in these things, it's asking us to realize that our only way to lighten our heart is ourselves, our honesty. By doing that really hard work, And the 11th card and number has often been linked as well in the past and in certain tarot decks to the strength and to Leo energy. The 10th house, where we come out into the world, sitting, the MC sitting at the 9th critical degree, being amplified, being highlighted, and working here with the energy of Scorpio, working in a square, working in a tension, in a boxing match. So how we want to be out in the world is being challenged based off of whether we are authentic within ourselves. Where we are asked to look at that is, where are we subjugating ourselves and telling ourselves some storyline of something because of some sort of archetypal knowledge and architectural design inside of our own minds. And can you realize that you have the ability to look into that darkness, because Black Moon Lilith owns that realm. She owns that realm. She rules that realm, and she does it gloriously. The choice to embrace balance through transformative wisdom can arise now through the receptive soul to the heart's authentic purity. We're going down to the bones. We're going down to the blood. We're going down to the essence. We're going down to get feather thin, feather light. We are going down to understand that we are still the hawk, but the hawk has the feathers of lightness. It is a lightness of being, but that beingness exists within the heart, and that comes from unifying the heart and the soul. And we can reject our soul, fight with our soul. I'm one to do that. If you read something spiritually catchy, my third book, I literally talk in there about how I got to this point of just anger with my own soul because of all the shit I had been through. And that shit wasn't even anything. That was child's play compared to this year. But I was so mad because I felt like I didn't choose it. My soul chose it and just thrust me into it. And now I understand that my soul chose it and chose me because my soul believed in me. And so why the hell shouldn't I believe in myself? And if I can do that, then why shouldn't I teach or share all that I feel and know with all of you? Because what I feel and know about my own worth and my own value and my ability to heal and my journey and the struggles and all of it, I see in this, I feel in this same energy that we share on this channel. And that's why we're a community. This new moon is deeply transformative. I've been saying that the pressure is intense. It's deeply transformative, but it comes back down to choice. If we choose to embrace the interwoven opportunity to rise from the ashes of the past, holding on to wisdom and moving with unconditional love, worth, and value, we can genuinely complete the shattering of the illusions of what once was. A surrender is now gifted, an easy flow to be chosen, so we may truly move toward a destined self. And then I was like, whoa, are we changing paths? Are we changing timelines? Like, what is this? Because if we shatter the illusions of the past, what is the future? Because the future is oftentimes based on the past because we've been walking the path. So I was like, what is going on? And then I heard the path may appear the same, but the energy you put into it is now changed and it's truly authentic, which means that the path hasn't changed, except everything about it has changed. Nothing has changed and everything has changed. And it's only because the containment of it has changed because you have changed yourself. The overall collective message is this is a time to slow, to feel, to choose. Choose from within. The words you feel arise within you, and they're calling you to reflection. They're calling all of us into reflection. The Hermit card is so strong. It's so strong. Virgo is going, guys, turn inside. And we have Virgo in the 11th house and it's empty, which I guarantee you it's not actually empty because there's fixed stars and there's asteroids and there's all sorts of fun things. But Virgo is sitting here and its ruler is in this grand water trine. In the 11th house, it is about humanity itself. Our hopes, our dreams, our wishes, our soul's hopes, dreams, and wishes for our life, for our human existence, and how we come together in community. We can look at it as large groups and whatever. This is about how we connect with the world, with existence, with every layer and every phase of reality. How we connect, where we connect, why we connect, and the nature of the authentic connection that we have or the inauthenticity that we move through. And Virgo is very analytical, very pragmatic, very practical, this is what we do. But Virgo's shadow is deflection. So we have to be aware of that because Virgo will be the mirror and show you the truth. But Virgo struggles to see the truth. And this is about us seeing our own truth. So this is about the Virgoan energy and how it impacts our own truth inside. The path has not changed, but we are called to reflection, not deflection. It's an opportunity for growth because there is a portal of wisdom that we are residing in collectively in the world, in the middle of all of this energy, all of this tension, all of the pressure, but also all of the heightened divine gifts, the yods, the everything, the T-square, everything that's in here. It's just insane. I don't know that it looks like a T-square to me, but I could be wrong. It looks like separate T. Okay, no, I'm going to get distracted if I try and figure out all the chart patterns. Regardless, this is a portal of wisdom, and wisdom is earned. Carl Jung said once that we should all beware of unearned wisdom. And I know he was talking about people that, like dabble in psychedelic drugs or go on these, unsanctioned meditative journeys or what have you. Like essentially he's talking about people who open their consciousness up prior to the calling coming in due to the choices that they're making. And I thought about that because I have had my time with psilocybin and utilizing it as a natural resource because I have very weird genetics, guys, like really weird genetics, but I am genetically, so down to like my cellular structure, there are many medications that I can't take. And I had a severe concussion a couple of years ago and had post-concussive syndrome. And it really messed with my mental health. And this was a study being done by Johns Hopkins. And so I used this naturopathic way, but I was terrified to do it because I knew of family members who had really like gone down into that journey, into that Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole. And I had seen how it had impacted their health and their mental health and their spiritual journey. And so I was incredibly cautious. And when I came across this phrase or quote from Jung, it hit me so hard because that has been something that has been about integrity is when we're working with wisdom is something that we have to navigate our way through in gaining. We can have all of this knowledge and awareness of the spiritual world and the spiritual realm, but transforming that into wisdom is a journey. And it is not one that has a time frame or a definitive, you go this way and then this way and then this way and then you're there. There's no A to B or A, B, C. There's no direct path to it. Wisdom comes in the time it comes. And Jung knew that in the land of the unconscious and the darkness, you have to be aware of the unearned wisdom. Because if you're carrying divine wisdoms before the time that your mind and your heart and your body are ready for it, you can undergo pain, and you can undergo struggle, and you can undergo challenge. And if that's the path of your soul, that's the path of your soul. But these are things for us to sit and reflect on. Have I earned my wisdom? And give yourself the credit if you have. Did I take it upon a choice that I made? And how do I navigate my way through what has been changed internally because of this? How do I address it? How do I look at it when it causes so much pain? And sometimes you just do. Sometimes you just turn. You peel the blinders off your eyes and you say, okay, I'm just going to look at it. This moon is the pressure, guys. I keep coming back to the pressure of this moon, but that's where it's at. The pressure of this moon is saying it's in our body. It's in our bodies. It's in our souls. It's in our eyes. It's in the tone of our voice. It's in the way that we move. It's in the thoughts that we have, and the fact that oftentimes we don't realize that we embody those thoughts so firmly that we don't have to say them. People just feel them. They just feel them. That's why you get this inky vibe from somebody, or you get a vision from spirit about something and you're like, I know what that means. That means this and this and this. We get that because the person is projecting that energy outward so strongly because they don't understand how to see it yet. And I can have grace for that because it took me a long time. I was an asshole for a long time. I'm not going to lie. People wouldn't say that, but I would. This portal is different for everyone. It's unique to everyone. It's unique to you. It's unique to me. And therefore, only you know what the choice of your heart is and what it's meant to be. The advice from Spirit was listen, contemplate, and then choose. Don't rush it. Don't think that the pressure is just going to crush you. It won't. It'll be uncomfortable, but the discomfort is important too. You have a blessing open now. What it is up to your choice and your heart. So you can trust the love. Choose what you know to be right, because you do know what it is that is right. This moon phase is something out of another, it's like out of another world, you guys. I'm not going to lie. It's insane. Okay, I'm going to make a note here. All right, so how I'm going to do this, I'm not even going to stop my video. Normally I do, but today we're just going to flow with it. So 53, I think I put 5323 on the clock is for pile 1. So we are going to just dive right in. I suppose I should change that timestamp. 4 piles, timestamps in the description box. You guys can go ahead and check them out, but let's just get into pile 1. Whatever. We're going to flow with this. This is a new way of doing things. So let's do this. I love the fact that I've had this dragon's blood burning the whole time. And it's just now starting to burn down. All right, pile 1. This is the talisman of passion. And I love this. I love this because there's this energy of understanding direction, but it's direction that comes down directly from the heart. And this looks like an elk, but I also got stag. Then I got reindeer and caribou because of the long hair. And there's all of these different energies to it. But the point is that we can have this great big crown. But if that crown is not connected to the heart, if our mind and our heart are not connected, where do we find our passion? And when we feel like we've lost it, how do we get back? This moon phase is about you recognizing the passion from within your heart, recognizing that, yeah, yeah, the divine masculine is going to want to go and do things. But those things that you want to create, that life that you want to have, that passionate existence that flows for you, pile one, that isn't found in action. It's found in the stillness of your heart, where the divine feminine will direct how you choose to take that direction and manifest from there. That depends on you and your relationship with your other half, the divine masculine. This passion is that combination of both. This moon phase wants you to remember that passion that you have, that light, that spark, because we forget it, guys. We forget it. Especially in these energies, we forget it. You know, we get fired up and we go and we do things, and then mistakes happen and pains happen and losses happen. And we start forgetting, like, what was I here for in the first place? And this passion, it gets lost. I can't think of a better blessing when you feel like all the passion in life is gone, for this new moon to come in and be like, no, we're going to put you in a tiny little box and we're going to pressurize you and we're going to make you remember your strength, remember your power, remember your resilience and your ability to transcend. Remember that you have this fire inside of you. And remember that there is a soft, beautiful, gentle, loving voice inside of your heart that is ready to open that up and help you get there. So the tarot cards are the past, the present energy, and then just some advice for the future. It's something that you can reflect on, divinate for yourself, and hopefully it serves as an aid in making any choices that you may feel. So in the past, we have the 8 of Wands, like passion, fire energy. You have that go, let's go, let's go. But what I'm drawn to here is how it looks very similar to the chart. When we have energies that, and this looks like a sextile to me too. I know it's not a sextile, but it's got a couple extra lines. Anyway, one extra line. Anyway, when we have that energy, it's an easygoing flow. So in the past, everything seemed to move really smoothly because you knew what you were doing, you knew where you were going, all of this, blah, 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 whatever. So the fire flew. It flew into your life and you flew from there, just like the hawk. You just took charge and went. But if you're popping off in all directions, you can go really fast. You can do a lot of things. But boy, I tell you what, when those wands are gone, the card is black. So in the past, you may have moved very fast in too many ways. And I've been there. So let's see the present. We have the Knight of Swords. Oh my God, you're fucking kidding. I'm sorry. You're kidding me. Look at this. Look at that, you guys. You can't make this shit up. I've been talking about it for, oh my God. This is literally about recognizing that the mind and the heart need that alignment. So right now where you're at is you're going, okay, teach me, Hawk. I'm your prey. You are the, or no, you're not the prey. Yeah, you're the prey. They're the predator. That's what it is. You're the prey. They're the predator. You're learning from what you perceived as the enemy. You're flipping everything upside down and you're going, my hands don't wield shit. I moved in all different directions. Everything is topsy-turvy. I don't know which way is up. And when you don't know which way is up, what do? You get a guide. You redefine up. You redefine direction. You're sitting in this counterbalance of understanding that all the wands are gone and all that motion is gone, and you just are looking for the clarity of maybe what happened, or how'd you get here, or when's the next dive going to come, and can I stop being the prey, kind of thing. That's the energy I'm getting from the Knight of Swords. So your advice for the future is the Knight of Wands. And you've got this figure. He's got the cloak of the cosmos, living in black and white. You carry color in a land that lives in black and white, but you do it in a way where you're walking blind. Look at his eyes. If I can get it to focus for you guys. This is the Lumina Tarot look. Walking by faith, not by sight. Close your eyes and harness the energy. Trust in the detours. Sometimes the trickiest energy is the one that is trying to pull us where we're meant to be. So you've got two knights here. You have one in the mind and one in the heart, and they're trying to come together. They're trying to come together. You're the bridge. So finally, the last thing that I have for you, I have the Wild Mystic, which is a spirit animal and a key word that I'm just going to give to you guys. I was going to read the book, but Spirit's like, no, just give it. Let them discern it from there. And underneath it, I have the Crystal Wisdom deck, and it's just a crystal that may or may not help during this time. So you guys have the Raven with Secret. You have Lock and Key, up and down, opposites, woven together. Secret, but the Lock and the Key. So this is something for you guys to look into. You can look into the symbology of ravens. Look into what secrets mean to you. Remember, this is about reflection and looking at yourself. And then for your crystal, you have the pearl. And it says balance, wisdom, and grace, the element of water, the chakras of the sacral and the heart. Pearls aren't just things you find, they actually come to life. Defined as solid formations within the tender tissues of salt water or freshwater mollusks, pearls have been cherished since ancient times. Often celebrated as tokens of grace and allure, yet their significance extends far beyond. Symbols of inner wisdom, pearls are recognized as introspective gems, gently leading us inward to rediscover our innate insight. My gosh, I love this. Even more, pearls have a calming and balancing vibe. With a smooth flow of water in them, they encourage us to find our own rhythm. When to use it during activities focused on personal development, such as journaling, goal setting, or creative expression. Wear pearls as jewelry to keep them close to your skin and energy field. And Special Care says, when getting dressed, pearls should be the last thing you put on and the first thing you take off. Finally, your mantra. Come on. Maybe. There we go. Guys, this is such an imperfect system. And I'm just like, whatever. Okay. It's going to be fuzzy, so I'm just going to read it. It says, I trust that I have the answers within me and they reveal themselves at the perfect time. Some of you may be Leos. I just got that energy flowing in and maybe drawn to the Leo reading. That's just for some of you. All right, pile one. This is what I have. If you guys are sticking around for the other piles, I will see you at them. If not, thank you for being here, guys. It's been a journey. Let's do this. Pile two. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to write this timestamp. All right, 1/4/14. All right, pile two. Pile two. All right, pile two. With this new moon, this new beginning, this opportunity, the Spirit wants to talk to you about the nature of the gate. Your card is mindfulness, and you have the praying mantis, but I get a lot of Aquarian energy here. I don't know if some of you guys are Aquarius. And I know the book talks a little bit about like the dedication of the praying mantis, but or stillness. I mean, it talks about stillness. But what I'm getting from this is, most of the time when you hear praying mantis, people talk about how praying mantises mate, and then, the mom pops the head off of the dad. And that's the way it's been done, and it's nature and whatever. But do you have to cut the head off the divine masculine in order to be in your divine feminine energy, pile 2? Is that what you need? Is that what constitutes your freedom? When we're asked to move into mindfulness, sometimes we can be like, okay, I'm just going to meditate, whatever. I'm going to eat clean. That's not its entirety. Mindfulness is genuinely becoming aware of the fact that your mind is full and sitting down and going, okay, I'm going to dump this stuff. Or I am not engaging in my life. Why am I not engaging in my life? There are times where I am going through such strain and stress in my life that I struggle with depersonalization, derealization, and dissociation. And in the past, I didn't recognize when it was happening, nor how to handle it, nor how to verbalize it. Over time, I have learned how to do all of those things by saying, hey, I'm struggling with this. To me, it seems like it's something from a movie. That's always how it manifests for me. It's like I don't have a heart condition. This is outrageous. This is insane. I'm not wearing a heart monitor. This is just some sort of like movie storyline or whatever. And my brain will do that because it's overloaded. It's overloaded with the implications and with the past and with everything. Mindfulness sometimes involves us emptying our mind. But it does not necessarily mean that we cut the head off. Because if we cut the head off, the mind may not be full, but it doesn't exist anymore. Now we're incomplete. This is going way differently than I thought I would, pile 2. Holy crap. So the tarot cards that we have are past, present, and then just some advice for the future. You can take it. You don't have to take it. It's just a perspective from your guides and your ancestors today. So in the past, we have the Hierophant. I'm not surprised. Look at this. He cut the head off, you guys. The level of alignment of these messages is insane. He cut the head off. He's holding the head above him. In the Merkaba, in Metatron's cube, literally saying, I need alignment, but I'm holding the head above me. When you hold someone else's ideations, mindsets above you, you're not being mindful either. Things that are long past don't necessarily have a place in this world, and things that are in this world don't necessarily have a place in this world. This is about you recognizing that in the past, there was this stuckness of, I'm just holding on to this person's belief of alignment and this person's belief of what I need to do. I'm not holding on to my own. I'm holding on to this person's, and I'm going to do it until, well, this is Turian energy. Turian just digs in and they're like, this is how we're doing it. So in the past, mindfulness meant cutting the head off of your own divine masculine and deciding that you're just going to go based off of somebody else. That's literally the message I'm getting. Take it if it resonates. If it doesn't, it's not your pile, guys. But please respect the people who this message belongs to. So where are we in the future or in the present? Wow, in the present, not in the future. We have the King of Wands. What happened during the eclipses for you? Who did you trick? What did you trick? What trickery occurred? And I use trickery pretty lightly because with the fox, I always hear, what does the fox say? And then Ilvis plays in my head, of course, and if you don't know that, please look it up. It's hilarious. But it's like all of these different things that the fox says, but none of them are what the fox actually says. And so we think that it's trickery because we think the fox is saying these things, but that's not what the fox is saying. We're just listening to what people think it does. And the fox is just sitting there going, dude, no, dude, that's not what I'm saying. We attribute certain things, ideations, mentalities, meanings. We do it because somebody taught us to do it. There was something that changed. April 8th to October 2nd for you. It was between the solar eclipses that I'm feeling. I think the solar eclipse is on the 2nd, but that's the date I'm getting. I'm actually getting October 4th really strongly. 10/4/04 to 10/4/24, something about a 20-year gap. That may not apply to all of you, but it may apply to some. Something within that, the sun and the moon energy, it's like they flipped. And that's where you're at now. You're at this, oh, okay, I got the power. My head is back on. My head is back on because I realize that I'm the leader. I'm the one with the vision. And he's got the grand fire tree on top of his own wand. And we have a water tree in fire houses here. This moon is an integration energy in your present that I'm feeling. Wow. Okay, let's go into the future. Jeez. We have the world. We have Saturn. We have completion. We have those 29th degrees. Your guides are saying, I know it's your ancestors. Your ancestors are saying, we have nothing left. We have nothing left to say because you know. The egg, the womb, the hatching, the being, the coming forth out of the chrysalis, the rising of the phoenix. We don't need to do these things. We don't need to say these things. All of these ideations, all of these notions, all of these symbols, you already know them. You have always known them. They are there. They are you. You are them. And ripples, 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 ripples. We don't need to say anything to you because you already know that you're the lotus. You know all of these things. The metaphorical, it just doesn't matter anymore. Because you already know that within the collective, you are the collective. Because you already know that you flow. Because you already know the progression, because you already know the power, because you already know that nothing falls without being rebuilt, because you already know and you are already free. And there's such deep gratitude because you freed them. You set them free. I don't know what you did, pile 2, but you set them free. You set them free because you stopped. You stopped holding the mind of someone else. You stopped holding the ideations of something long gone. You let it go and you stood up and you said, I see it. And I know the truth of what is being said. I know my truth and I say my truth. And that's powerful. So let's take a look at the wild mystic. This is just an animal for you guys to tap into. And we have sacred with the starfish. What does sacred mean to you? And remember, a starfish needs water or it dries out. But is a dried starfish sacred still? What choice would you make? What decision? And this is a crystal wisdom card. I'm going to show you the crystal. And this is called Painite. It's about passion, empowerment, and motivation. Elements of fire and earth with the Hierophant and the King of Wands. And it's about your root chakra. Painite held a unique distinction for quite some time, having only one specimen housed at the British Museum. Despite its unassuming appearance compared to more flamboyant crystals, painite is genuinely rare and exclusively originates from a specific region in Myanmar. Similar to other red gemstones, painite is associated with the benefits linked to passion, vitality, and motivation. However, the elusive nature of this stone has shrouded it in mystery, making it challenging to pinpoint its precise healing properties. That sounds like what does the fox say to me? When to use it during times of transformation or as part of your meditative practice. Where to put it, where it is pendant or keep it in your pocket for constant transformative energy. Special care. Handle with care due to its rarity and preserve its unique qualities. And your mantra down on top is, my soul is rare and beautiful. Your soul is rare and beautiful, and that is why you should not cut the head off. Because the head is for you to wear. The crown is yours to wear, and no one else's ideations come above or beyond yours. Pile 2, this is the message that I have for you guys. If you guys are sticking around for any of the other piles, I will see you at them. If not, thank you guys. Thank you for this. I haven't channeled like this in a long time, and it feels great. All right, let me take note here. We got 0115. They have some crazy synchronistic numbers going on. So pile 3, I am just getting pile 2 cleared off for you guys. And then we're going to go ahead and get right into it. So pile 3, I'm going to cut right in because I knew what your top card was and we need to address this. You guys have the card of finding love with seahorses. And this whole moon is about divine feminine and divine masculine energy and the balance between them and the unification between them. With seahorses, they mate for life, but the fathers carry the babies, not the mothers. And it works differently. And they give birth. Just pop out a bunch of seahorse babies. It's really funny. Just hot tub jet. That's what I'm thinking. Anyway. Some of you may have been drawn to another pile. If you were, take this as your confirmation that there is a message in there and they are linked. If not, no big deal. I'm not going to mention the pile. I just know the energy is there. When we decide that we are going to go looking for love rather than allowing ourselves to find love, when we're going looking, and there is a distinction between I am going to go look for love versus I am going to find love, because finding love is a surrender. Finding love is saying, I know it exists out there and I know I will come to it. I will come across it. It will come to me. It will flow the way it's supposed to, because that's the nature of love. Love finds where it's meant to be. But when we say, I'm going to go looking for love, or I'm going to go seeking love, when we seek it out, we find the opposite. Unfortunately, we find the opposite. And I did this for years, you guys. I did it all the time because I did not know how to look at myself. I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know how to carry myself. I didn't know how to hold myself. I didn't know how to do any of these things. And because I didn't know that, sorry guys, my daughter is here. Because I didn't know those things, I would always seek it. And when we seek love, when we go looking for love, what we're doing is we're looking for the validation that we feel is lacking. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do ever in my life, and I will swear by this, you guys, one of the hardest things I've ever had to do was call my mom and say, did you even love me when I was a kid? Did you want me? Was I born out of love, or was I just a hindrance because I grew up feeling like a burden? I grew up feeling like I was not loved. And I had to ask my mom point blank, did you love me? Did you want me? And it was horrible because I love my mother so much. I love my mother so much. And I know what she has been through. I know a lot of what she's been through. I've learned more over time. And I know that she carries a lot that she doesn't say. And I can seek for that love. But I needed to know whether I was on a fundamental existence basis. It didn't help. Sometimes the finding of the love is about finding the love within ourselves. And that means that we have to seek it out within ourselves. And that's hard. It's hard. Especially when you're not taught and you don't know how, and nobody speaks your love language. And then you do that love language test and you're like, well, if this is what it is, then how do I do that? Do the test, guys. This moon wants you to think about love. Your concept, your ideation, the way that you have applied it, the way that you have gone to seek it rather than allowing it to come in and find you. What is it that you're running from within yourself that you are struggling to love? And what do you idealize more? Do you idealize the mother that created you or the father that birthed you? And this is very specific to the finding love because that's the seahorse message. Which one do you idealize more and why? In that questioning, when you inquire into that within yourself, that's where you're going to find what your concept of love and the ability of love to actually find you is, and your ability to find love within yourself. So we're going to look at the past. The oracle or the tarot cards are past, present, and just advice for the future. From for pile 3, this is from your ancestors, very, 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 very strongly. It's literally like all of your ancestors just step forward. The angels, the guides, they all step back, and they said, "No, this is 100% ancestral for pile 3." So these are your ancestors. Whether you know them or not, they are here, and this is important to them. You are important to them. This is important to them. I can't emphasize that enough. There's a very serious tone coming from them. We're going to get these, and then I have a wild mystic spirit animal and a crystal card for just a little extra help. In the past, we had the Knight of Cups. I am not at all surprised by this. This is that romance card, that Ouroboros energy. This is about patterns of love, patterns of ideation of love, patterns of romance, patterns of relationships, patterns of connectivity, and how it is linked to the mother and the father. This is about how you view yourself and love and the vast cosmos of in and out of these things and these relationships and these experiences, because you're trying to fill a space that is meant to be filled with love. And it's meant to be filled with love because you're meant to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, no matter what, I know that I exist, and I know that my existence matters because I'm breathing and I am made of love. Unconditional love is at the foundation of existence. That's just my ultimate truth. You can take it or leave it if you want to adopt it. That's my ultimate truth. Unconditional love is at the foundation of our existence. That is why we exist, how we exist, and it is what connects us. And we go through these horrible patterns in life at times. And a lot of times, especially with a chart like this and a moon like this, we're going through these ancestral patterns. And when the Ouroboros comes up, this is a repetitive thing. This is there's no ending, there's no beginning. It just keeps going and going and going and going. So we idealize something. And when we idealize something, the love is not authentic in that place. And it's because we are devaluing something that we contain within us in order to put somebody else above us. We're looking at a black and white image and not realizing that our voice is contained within the patterns. Our voice is being held for us to recognize that it isn't all black and white, and it doesn't have to be this way. But first, we have to find within ourselves what it is that we're looking for. So now where you're at is the moon. You are literally in the energy of, yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of it, but I understand now. And with it being Piscean energy, you're in this awareness of interconnectivity and how love impacts. One of the best things that I learned from a astrologer is that Piscean energy is like ultimate truth. It exists where it exists in your chart, and people can apply the 12th house in this way and whatever, however you apply it. But ultimate truth, like a capital U and a capital T. But in my belief, there is no such thing as ultimate truth that applies to everyone, everywhere. There is no such thing as objectivity. Everything is subjective because we are all perspective people. We create our reality based off of our perspective, and we all have layered realities that exist and coexist together. So, ultimate truth is a decision that we make. It is a choice that we make, and it is a way of life, a commitment that we make. And so ultimate truth here for you is coming up in the sense of what is the illusion of the divine feminine? What is the illusion of the divine masculine? What is the illusion of love? What is the illusion of the collective? What is the illusion of the ancestors? What are all these lies and these stories that are told? And what are all the secrets that are kept? And where do you fit? And how do you fit? And at the basis of the moon is the Hermit card. It is your inner journey. So what is your guys' advice for the future? Justice, card 8. I love it. It's recognizing in this 12th house, as we talked about with the moon energy, recognizing that you're the one who chooses where the balance is. You're the one that chooses to honor the divine masculine, honor the divine feminine, to honor your light and honor your darkness. You're the one that chooses. Do I need someone else to confirm that my existence means that I'm loved? Or am I capable of looking at myself and saying, I contain divine love within myself? I am love. I can move through love. I can soften and be gentle and be kind and be considerate and be compassionate. I can do all of these things because I understand that what I do is what determines my life. It's not what other people do, it's what I do. And so I can break myself out of this toxic pattern of black and white and of what everything is. I can free myself from this illusion because I don't have to see it. I just have to know inside. That's the advice from your ancestors. Set yourself free from their pains. Let it go. Move forward in a new way. Don't carry that toxicity. Don't carry that separation and division. Let love find you from within. Surrender to it like they didn't. I'm hearing we did not. You can. We believe in you. You are here for this. You are the one who can do this. Change it for yourself, not for us, but change it for yourself. And that is what your ancestors are giving you advice on so strongly. Let the past be the past and set yourself free, but set yourself free by finding within yourself why the past in your life happened. Why you sought love instead of letting it find you. Instead of being authentic, what were you afraid of? Wow. Okay, let's just wild mystic, guys. We have the crab, care, Cancer energy, mother energy, moon cycles. Yeah, the flow of the moon. If you're not a Cancer like rising or sun or moon right now, Mars's energy at that 29th degree is literally just pelting you, because it may say care, but Cancerian energy is the opening to the underworld. And this is about loyalty. This is about who you listen to. This is about what you follow. This is about whether you trust divine femininity or not. And Cancer became a constellation because Cancer trusted a divine feminine and was killed by a divine masculine. That loyalty, that blind loyalty, rather than faith and trust and separation and individuality and thinking for oneself and going with what the natural way is and caring for everyone. That is why we have Cancer as a constellation. I don't know why I needed to share that with you guys, but it was very powerful and needed. So this is your crystal wisdom. It might, oh, yay. Hey, look, it focused. It's not a perfect system, guys. It's a webcam. Emerald, calm, loving, calmness, love, and healing. Element is earth. The chakra is your heart. For millennia, the emerald stone has woven itself into legends, myth, and tales of love. Beyond being one of the world's most expensive gems, emerald possesses an exquisite mystique and beauty that has captivated the imaginations of royalty, artisans, and thinkers across the centuries. Much like other green stones, emeralds has a profound connection to matters of the heart, fostering romance, abundant love, and deep emotional bonds. However, the luxurious yet calming green hue of emerald is believed to also act as a soothing balm for both body and mind. When to use it: romantic dates, healing rituals, or as a token of love and gratitude. Where to put it: wear it as jewelry, wear it as a jewelry piece in direct contact with the skin to enjoy its healing properties. Special care: avoid exposure to harsh chemicals and cleanse it with care using mild soapy water. Your mantra here: I feel love flow to me effortlessly and easily. Remember, this is about finding love, which means it's about letting love come to you. All right, pile 3. This is the message that I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're sticking around for pile 4, just give me a couple seconds and we'll get there. If not, I do want to say thank you guys. I think this pile so far has been the one that has hit my heart the hardest. So we have 013017. Let's get into pile 4. All right, pile 4. You guys are here from the timestamp. Hey guys, what's up? I'm just clearing off the stuff from pile 3. If you guys are here from pile 3, hi guys. Hey, if you guys are here from like the beginning of this video, please go eat a cookie afterwards because you guys deserve it. Pile 4. The message for you for this moon is the moon. It's literally the moon. It's Luna. Venusian energy is strong. The feather, ma'at, truth, phases, cycles, changes. And I did get Luna moth and I didn't look it up. I might later, but it really depends on where my energy flows. The moon wants you to tap into the moon. Pile 4. This is the most simplistic message I have gotten. There is something so straightforward about your energy. I feel like I have like, there's so much like Virgoan and Capricornian energy right now in your pile. It's like Saturn. Saturn is telling Mercury exactly what you need to do. The moon phases matter. The moon phases matter. It is impacting you. And this moon is changing. There's, I'll say it and say it and say it and say it. There is so much pressure with this moon. It's changing something. I don't know what it's changing within you. I can feel it strong. The moon phases matter. So the tarot cards we have are past, present, and future. And then I just have like a wild mystic, which is a spirit animal and a keyword, and crystal wisdom for you guys. Just things that might help. You guys have guides here, a lot of guides, past life guides. A lot of past life guides are here for you guys. Yeah, that's very specific because I saw the Akashic. So very, very specific was past life guides. This is the second pile that has had like a very specific group step forward. Some of you may have memories of the Titanic. You may have memories of some sort of grand tragedy that the world may have forgotten, but you remember that was actually like a really big thing. Not quite like Titanic level, but I'm seeing a correlation. Something about the Bermuda Triangle. There's a lot of like shipwreck energy that I get here. Yeah, like really like a lot of shipwreck energy. Holy cow. That just flooded in, pun intended. Hidden at the depths. We don't know what's hidden at the depths. We don't know what's hidden. I don't know. Okay, guys, take whatever that was. So with the tarot cards, we have past, present, and then the advice for the future. Let's get into that. And I apologize if you can hear Chunk barking. She's pretty moody in her age. In the past, we have the Six of Pentacles. Hand over fist, we are trying to find balance. We are trying to find harmony. We are trying to unify. We are trying to make sure that everyone moves with equality. The problem is when you are moon dominated, your emotions are not going to be equal at all times. And I'm going to give you guys a piece of advice from me to you. When you watch the moon cycles, if you choose to start watching the moon cycles, like looking astrologically at the energies, look at the positions in the declination. If it says in parentheses OOB, that means that the moon is out of bounds. That means that the moon doesn't follow any astrological rules. All rules are out. Okay. Scorpio season started with an out of bounds moon, a very out of bounds moon, ruling its sign in its ruling sign in Cancer in the 9th house. Okay. We are working with dominant out of bounds energy. What you perceive and what you believe is changing. And there's nothing that can be done about it if you are moon dominated. Watch when that out of bounds happens because you can harness that energy however you choose. But remember that the way that you choose it will dictate whether there is actual balance, whether there is actual equality in your life, whether your life comes into harmony and balance, or whether it gets thrown off. So let's see where you're at in the present. The 10 of Cups. You guys are ready. You're literally ready. You're literally ready. The out of bounds moon is important for you guys. It doesn't matter if the declination is north or south. I'm just getting the more out of bounds the moon, the greater the joy and the peace you find, because you're freed from what everyone else says has to be. Because you can learn the moon in a new way, because you learn how to fly in a new way, because you learn the lightness of being for you right now. And I want to tell you guys, this message has been coming through to me too. External perception versus internal reality is incredibly important. What you feel within is how your reality is manifesting. So if it does not look outside of you as you feel internally, that dissonance can be difficult. And out of bounds moon it's not negating. Negating isn't the word. I heard assuage. An out of bounds moon can be the balm to the discomfort of that dissonance, because the dissonance will be there. It's energetic. It's a flow of energy, how it always is. So the dissonance will be there because it doesn't look like what you know it to be. And that can challenge our faith. That can challenge our belief. That can challenge our power. That can challenge that balance and that equality that we've come to. An out of bounds moon acts like a salve to that. It doesn't take it away, but it helps you understand it differently so that you can stay in this 10 of Cups power, in that happiness power of recognizing that, yes, you went through this journey and you transformed, but you're in your happiness, you're in your bliss, you're in your joy, you're in your life that you're meant to be in. And that's because you have recognized that you are ever changing, because you're attuned to this moon cycle. Pile 4, you guys are the furthest progressed I have worked with in a long time. It seems to go that way. All right. Your advice for moving forward, the 5 of Swords. I love this. It may seem scary, but I love this because this is this energy right here, the 5 of Swords. Your advice for the future, let it swing. Whatever it is that is transpiring, let it happen. Whatever it is, let it happen. Upon the point of a sword, it's going to happen one way or another. You can either choose to stay in your 10 of Cups energy and accept and allow, holding on to that internal truth, no matter what the external says. Or you can pick a battle upon a point or a noose, but either way, it's still going to be a battle. Let whatever needs to transpire, and know that you don't have to take action on it. You simply need to stay aligned to your inner world. And that inner world has a salve to all of the discomfort. It will ease some of the discomfort. It won't make it better, but it will ease it. Kind of the nature of like taking pain meds when you have bone pain. Taking pain meds when your bones hurt. Pain meds don't actually take any of the pain away from your bones. It doesn't work. But it does dull the rest of your senses so that the cutting edge of that pain is not there. Sometimes that is what we can do. That is what helps. And sometimes that is what gets us through these times of energetic change. Wow. Okay. I love you guys. I just need to say that. All right. Let's do the wild mystic. Yeah. Love with the swan. I'm not even going to divine this. I'm not going to say anything. You guys can look up the meaning of the swan. For me, this is literally like, I know what this message is. Yeah. Wow. Okay. And here is your crystal. You have green fluorite. It says learning, focus, and healing. Element of air, chakra is the heart. Known as the genius stone, green fluorite is intricately connected to the subjects of learning, intelligence, and concentration. In fact, it's believed to not only enhance focus, but also to open the mind to new concepts and ideas. Acting as a stimulant for the brain, green fluorite simultaneously extends its healing energies to the heart. Aligned with the heart chakra, this crystal is thought to assist in overcoming heartache, healing emotional wounds, and reopening our hearts to love. When to use it: while studying or learning new skills, during brainstorming sessions, when trying to solve a problem. Where to put it: if you have a designated space for reading, place green fluorite nearby. Special care: regularly cleanse under cool running water and recharge under the gentle light of a full moon. And here we have something that I live by. Learning is a lifelong adventure, and I am eager to explore. Or I am an eager explorer. Sometimes learning to love yourself means learning to love all the facets of you that are ever changing. And when you learn to love the moon, sometimes that's just what you need. I don't know who needed to hear that, but pile 4, this is what I have for you. For all of you guys who have been here through this reading, through the piles, if you watched all of the energy update, guys, just thank you. I know me being gone for, such a long time meant me coming back was 10 times riskier. But your loyalty, your love, and your compassion has been a great blessing during this time for me. So thank you. I want to say thank you to your guides, to my guides, to the Great Spirit, the cosmic energies, to the loving ancestors, the past life guides who have stepped forward today. Thank you to Spirit. Thank you for the energy of the thinning of the veil. As we honor those who have passed from this life into a next, who have come before, who will come after, who have taught us, who have guided us, who have led us, who have helped us, and who have chosen us. Thank you for the collective at this reading. Thank you for the collective in the world. And thank you for the ever-present, ever-flowing, unconditional love that you share to all of us. Divine Creator. Thank you. All right, my loves. I know I've been hyper emotional and whatnot, but it's not going to stop. This is just who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm smiling, I promise. I have to go do some errands and hopefully film a couple more. So thank you again, you guys. I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye.